our life functions. It's a very interesting way of looking at that we have got total 10 indriyas, dasha indriya. Out of them 5 are the jnanendriya or the senses who gathers knowledge, information. Like eyes can see, ears can hear, tongue can taste, skin can touch, nose can get the smell. So with these 5 senses, we feel this world. By our sight, by our touch, by our smell, by our hearing. So we sense this world. That's why it's called senses. We sense this world, we feel this world, objective world. The senses doesn't have capacity to perceive inner world. Senses are extrovert. All the senses. You remember the famous shloka, Karopanishad, Paranchikhani Vyatranat Swayambhu. God has created Khani. Khani means indriyas. God has created the senses extrovert. Tasmat parang pashyati. That's why the senses perceive the external world. It doesn't perceive the internal world. Kaschit dhiraha. There are very, very few people. Pratyega atmanam aikshat. To realize the self, Atman, avritta chakshu. They shut down the senses or they control the senses, amritatvam ikshan, and seek immortality. So, we have 5 senses this side, and our brain comes other sensory system, mainly it is brain, which is like a CPU of the body. It is a central processing unit. Let me tell a beautiful, nice, funny story to understand this concept. A thief, a robber, robbed some people and police was behind him. So the robber ran toward the forest and police came behind. After going inside the deep forest, he saw one monk was meditating under a tree. So the robber says to the saint, you know I am a robber, I can kill you. I am going to the left side. If police come, tell them that I am going to the right side. So police will go this side and I will not be caught. So, the sadhu says, okay. Then the sadhu thought, how to tell a lie? For my life, for the sake of my life, if I tell truth, he will kill me. But I cannot tell lie. So he was thinking how to answer the police. So the police came and told, a robber has just come here and from here he has vanished. Do you know which side he has gone? So he said, yes, my eyes have seen him, but eyes cannot speak. My mouth can speak, but my mouth has not seen him. So like this, a roundabout answer he gave. The story is that, of course, eyes cannot speak. Of course, mouth cannot see. Of course, ears cannot speak. Everybody has a separate function to perform. But all the senses, 5 senses, they do their activity, send the report to the CPU, and then CPU is processing, taking consideration of the hard disk behind, which is called our memory. which is called chitta. The senses will say, there is a beautiful flower. Nose will say, yes, yes. Smell also is very good. Eyes say, yes, yes, very nice to look at. So a 5-dimensional information of a flower comes to this processing unit. So the unit says, the memory says, earlier I had contact with good flowers. I enjoyed the smell. So immediately, within a fraction of a moment, this process takes place. You know, when you go to Wikipedia or Google, you write a word, when you enter, just see what is the first line written. 50,000 answers found in 0.000 seconds. Something like that it will come. Our brain works faster than that. Just see. And computer till today doesn't have many faculties which our brain has. You can record the videos, you can record the sound, you can record the photos. So photos and videos fall into the same category, which is eyes. Sound you can record. There is ears. Computer has yet to prepare itself to remember the smell. You hold a flower in front of your CPU. CPU has no capacity to recognize the fragrance or smell. Only a data can be transferred which is regarding the eye or the sight related or the sound related. The taste related memory has yet to come. The smell related memory has yet to come. So computer, if you ask from Vedanta point of view, as of today, the computer is functioning only 40% of a human computer. Because out of 5 senses, 3 senses are not yet under computer's purview. So this information is collected, it comes to the brain, and all the senses give the information of flower is beautiful, eye says. The nose will say, oh, it is very beautiful fragrance. Skin will say, very nice to touch. Sound says, I have nothing to do with flower. So one or more or all of the 5 senses give you a holistic information about an object of perception. Then your CPU will process it. Then you will react as a liking or disliking. And then there is another set of 5 other senses, which is called karmendriya. You will find you are walking on the road, in a shop, you see one cloth. The process is so fast that we don't analyze. As soon as you see, your hand will go and touch the cloth. Only the eyes have told to the brain how hand started working. So 5 jnanendriyas, the senses of knowledge, pass the information to this brain. And then order comes from the brain, CPU. Then 5 senses of action are there. They perform the action. This is how we live in this world. Correct? Now you have a child with you. What you are doing? If there is you are not in a mood to spend money for the toys, expensive toys. So you take the child from the other street. Don't take child to that Toys R Us shop. You take the child other way. Why can't we do this to our senses? If I know that here is the, what you call it, a pit where I may fall, take other route. So this analysis, a conscious mind, a conscious sadhaka will do. and have slowly little control over the senses of knowledge. You don't try to control the senses of action. They are only motor vehicles. Until you have a key or you have an ignition key, you will not be able to start your car. Car doesn't have anything to do with it. There is a small piece of that is called key, whether electronic key or mechanical key. If you don't have the key, you cannot start the car. So if you want to prevent the theft of the car, what you do is you lock the car and keep the small key in your pocket. You don't put a guard to protect your car. A small key is enough to lock. In the same way, senses of action are like car, a instrument which can be used to acquire the objects. So we can control only the Jnanendriyas. We control only the senses of knowledge. That's why it is told, Bhagavad Gita, a few times it is there, Tasmat Indriyani Adau Niyamya Bharatarshava. Please control the senses a little. Control the eyes. Ears are the only thing which you cannot close by yourself. Skin also you cannot stop touching. The touch is normal. You cannot make maybe you put some cloth or something, but still touch is there. So whichever senses you can control your senses. So the information itself will not come. And your karmendriyas, senses of action, will not function accordingly. So this is to understand that how we are placed in this world, an extrovert world, how we are placed in this world and how the whole system functions. Such a beautiful instrument is the body, where the receiving information also is there and act according to the information, that device also is there. So there is a senses, which is a sensors, all the sound and touch and light and sight and all that, all will be sensed. And then it will work accordingly. So, whenever we call spiritual life, always we immediately jump into conclusion, oh, it's about God. No, not always. God comes very late. First comes you, first comes me, first comes I. What is me? How my body and mind functions. When Swami Ashokananda came to join the order, he was already educated up to a certain extent. So Swami Brahmanji told him, he said, I want to become a monk. Go study history, psychology, and philosophy. 3 things you hear. Why? History is from this point of view, so that you understand the cultures and all that, from that point of view maybe. But psychology is next to philosophy. Psychology deals with the mind. So how the mind functions, you will find there are books called Mind According to Vedanta, this and that. So study of the mind is very much important for the people who want to lead spiritual life. If you do not know how the mind works, then it is not possible for you to control your mind. So it is good to have information, and if you don't study from psychology point of view, even the philosophy, whether it is Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, they talk about the functions and working of the mind. So we need to, practical spirituality means, that's what I personally feel every time. What is spirit? Spirituality, what is spirit? Spirit is Atman, the self, finally. But for time being, you can consider spirit means mind, at least not the body. All that is beyond the body, finer than the body, consider that as a spirit for the time being. Mind, okay, controlling the mind, purification of the mind, these are the sadhana we should do. Okay, body is a body, then there are senses which are final part, controlling them, purifying them, guiding them, turning them. This is part of spiritual life. So, if you consider yourself body, which all of us do, then the first thing, Krishna told, the first thing your senses, start working objectively with the senses. controlling the senses, curbing these senses. Then comes mind. Then mind and senses which are relatively under control and purified can think about the spirit as an Atman, not before that. So the practical side of the story is this, that we have to understand the working of the senses and working of the mind. Now, there are certain concepts which are very much necessary for us to learn, apart from this, of course, is the misunderstood concepts, or the concepts which we have understood not in a matured way. And traditionally we know the meaning, so we imply that. But that is conclusion of certain people after leading a spiritual life. So we need to understand those concepts. For example, surrender, Sharanagati. Sharanagati comes at the end of your efforts, not before that. You put your efforts, and after putting efforts, when you still cannot achieve, then only Sharanagati comes. I remember we had a professor, when we go to him with a mathematics sum or a question, "Sir, I am not able to solve it." His first question would be, "Where is the rough work you have done? Where you have tried to solve the problem?" So that is required. So our spiritual practice, spirituality is a dynamic life. It's not a static life. Every day, if you are a sadhaka of a higher quality, of a higher type, every moment of your life is a guarded moment. There is no unguarded moment in sadhaka's life. But we all belong to different levels. Otherwise, we will become like a big saints. So we are not conscious always. So the more we are conscious, how to be conscious? The best way is to repeat the mantra. I nowadays am studying from that point of view in my mind. That repetition of the mantra has so many varieties of effects and utilities. You keep on doing japa with devotion, with sincerity. And that will create an identity within yourself which is not your body and which is not your mind. So thing is that the concepts of self-effort, concept of surrender, concept of reality, concept of subject and object, this concept, instead of keeping a layman's idea, we must have the particularized ideas. Particularized means going to the scriptures and understanding accordingly. So, 1 second. So practical spirituality always means this. No unguarded moments, a continuous effort. Our Jayadevanandaji, who was head of Singapore Center once upon a time, he was our principal. He said there is no part-time spiritual life. If you are a spiritual person, you are a spiritual person. Oh no, morning 7 to 8 I am very spiritual. After that I am not. No, this cannot. So it is the total life. We don't suddenly become a saint. But whatever we do as a being, as an individual. All our waking hours, whatever work we do, it's not that always you are reading scriptures or doing japa and all. No, we have to do varieties of things. While doing the things, your attitude is that. Attitude is the spiritual. So that keeping that in mind, we do everything. Like Swami Samachittanandaji used to say that a worldly person who is all-rounder and want to enjoy the world fully. So in Bengali there is a nice way of expression. Very good. লোকটা তো দারুণ ঝোলে ঝালে অম্বলে আছে. Turiyanji says, ঝোলে ঝালে অম্বলে means he is for all the taste of food he enjoys. Turiyanji says, we will do the same. Jhol also made of same, jhal also made of same, talk also made of same, ombol also made of same. Whatever we do in the name of Sri Ramakrishna we are doing. Bhajans we sing Sri Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is God. Not that we are prohibited from singing Krishna bhajans and Rama, not from that point of view. So we sing for God, we speak about God, we read about God, we do work about God. Even if I am working for my livelihood, behind the work that mind could be there, that I am doing this to support family. Who is the family? Family are the people who came in my life by the wish of God. Some people say, no, not wish of God, I selected. No. You didn't select. Very, very nicely somebody has told recently, I heard, that none of us decided where we should born, which family, which country, what time, we didn't decide. None of us are going to decide where you will die, what time you will die, at what age you will die. So when the beginning and end is not completely in your hand, how in between the life can be in your hand? Up to a certain extent it's your hand. God gives a free, as Ramakrishna gives the example, that a cow was tied with a pole with a 5-foot radius rope. When the cow finishes that 5-foot radius grass, then the owner will make it loose and make it 7-foot radius, so that the cow can eat some more grass. That free will is there. If food is kept in front of you, no, if Sri Ramakrishna wants, the food will come to my mouth. Food will not come. Because it is within that free will. Yes, for philosophy point of view, you can say what food should come to you, that may be God decided. That also you say, no, I went and ordered food. So there is no free will. Free will means where your will works. Wherever your will works, that we should use very wisely. Your selection should be wise. If I know I have diabetes, I should eat sweet lesser because it is within the free will. If you have a diabetes, you take more sweet. No. You see, why Thakur made me suffer? Thakur did not make you suffer. This was within the range of your free will. You could have decided not to take sweets. You could have decided to take medicine. You could have decided to do something or not to do something. God doesn't disturb you there. There is a free will. Just Ramakrishna says. Beyond your freedom of will is the region which is the maximum. That is in the hand of God. But what is in your hand? Within your free will, you must exercise the free will. The Purushartha falls into this category. Within the free will, only Purushartha is there. Self-effort doesn't work outside the free will. We have a chance to speak about spiritual life. We have a chance to speak about something else also. But we choose to speak. We choose to speak something which we think it is helpful. So wherever there is a selection, wherever there is a choice, we need to exercise that choice. The spiritual life is all about making right choice within the area of free will. Beyond the free will is not our job. When something comes to us, let us have a right choice. Let us have a wise choice. But having said that, because of our desires, because of our weakness, because of our body consciousness, many times knowingly we choose wrong things. Sri Ramakrishna gives example that a camel eats thorny bush. The blood comes out of the mouth, but camel doesn't stop eating that thorny bush. So sometimes we suffer. We undergo a lot of suffering, but still we do the same thing. Till your karmendriya brings knowledge to you, until you come to your conclusion in your senses that yes, I should do this or I should not do this. Till your free will, your choice becomes correct, then only God will, okay, he has done right choice in his free will. So let us extend, then your freedom will increase. What was not in your hand also will come within your choice. So the Purushartha is this, we must put effort. Spiritual life is all about putting efforts. You work hard. You know, there are two types of employments. One is the monthly employment. These workers are not very sincere always. Even if I work less, my salary is the same. But there is another contract. The more you work, more I pay you. Spiritual life, just to give an example, the spiritual life is like this. The more you put effort, more you gain. So, putting effort, it is like doing business. Government job is a government job. But when you do a business, you work hard. That much hard work not people do when they are working with somebody, for somebody. So idea is this, that we must exhaust all our efforts. Then only surrender will come. And the result of surrender is the extension of the rope. The result of surrender is extension of your free will. God increases the free will, as Ramakrishna says. So these are certain ideas that if understood properly and implemented properly, makes our spiritual life better, makes our spiritual life progress maybe faster if we know what is goal and whether we are reaching towards goal or not. But idea is this, that spiritual life is a dynamic life. It's not a static life. Your normal state of your mind, by doing continuous japa, this is one of the tests. Your normal state of mind will be happy state of mind, unless it is made sad because of something. As soon as that part goes, you come back to your normal state of mind, which is happiness. I just tell you, this is not a spiritual realization, but this is a kind of psychological thinking and understanding. I was in Argentina, and for some reason, there is no work, but still I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I wake up in the morning. One day I woke up in the morning, sitting in the bed itself, I felt I'm very happy. Then I started thinking, what makes me happy? There is no object to make me happy. Something is there which makes me happy. Then I gave a little philosophical color to it. And then I told to myself, till now I was sleeping. I was not able to remember God. Now I have woke up in my waking state. Now I can remember God. So, dynamic life is this. There is a beautiful Sanskrit dictum in our scriptures. Asukte amrite kalaha nayet Vedanta chintaya. The moment you wake up, till the last moment when you die, spend your time in the thinking of the principle of Vedanta. Or think about God. We can put in our own way, Amrite, Asutya, Amrite, Kala, Nayet, Ishvara Chintaya, maybe. Let us put it this way. And it's a matter of time. And if you are sadhaka, sincere sadhaka, be ready that your life will not be easygoing. Because senses are extrovert. In spirituality, you want to become introvert. And believe me this fact, today I don't know, many things are coming out. Many devotees are all, I am also devotee. Many devotees cannot progress because they are afraid to be introvert. If I become introvert, all the efforts which I have put, which my extrovert mind has collected, I will lose it. Arey Baba, even if you don't try, the day you will quit this world, everything will be here. Whatever we have, you have worked hard. It's not a question of that. So to be introvert, you need courage. Only courageous people can become introverts. Not everybody. So we need to be introvert. We need courage. What courage will come from where? Your intensity to realize the truth which is within. If I'm not interested in truth, sorry, this class is not meant for me. If you're interested in truth, truth will T capital truth. And that truth is God. To know God, I must put my effort. I must put my effort. To put this effort, infinite zeal is required because every step failure is waiting for you. Today I was telling in the class, it is good to fail. It is better to be succeeded, but no harm in failing. Only those people fail who put effort. Those who don't put effort, they have no chance to fail also. We put effort, that's why we fail. And there is a proverb in Gujarati language, of course. There is a proverb which says that I failed several times because that failures pushed me towards success. And there is a famous statement by, I think Abdul Kalam says that failure is not a failure. Either I succeed or I learned a lesson. Failure is not negative. Failure is learning the lesson. So even if you fail in spiritual life, even if you fail in particular attempt, again I failed, okay. That gave you a lesson that this path which I went, that was wrong. Let me take another path. So that option is eradicated. So every failure teaches you. If your mind, if your nature is to learn, that's why you will find many successful people, top of the world, started the life with so many failures. In political field, in science field, in spiritual field, in many fields, every field of life, they fail miserably. The famous musicians, A-grade musicians, when now he passed away, Pandit Jasraj. When Pandit Jasraj first went to music college, they say, you cannot sing. The teacher told you cannot sing, your voice is not fit for that. And he became Pandit Jasraj. Abraham Lincoln failed everywhere. Fine morning became president. There are many. Abdul Kalam practically went to commit suicide. And look at the grace of God. Being a Muslim boy, raised in a Hindu family, went to commit suicide to Rishikesh. So suddenly he saw Shivananda Saraswati. So he said, hello, come, what's the problem? No, I failed. I can't get admission in IIT. I can't get admission in college. So Shivananda Saraswati told him, do you think by this stupid admission success will come to you? They cannot give you admission because you are made to do much better things and higher things in life. That one sentence of the great saint changed the course of life of Abdul Kalam. So, everybody has failed. All great people have failed. So, whenever we don't get success in a small step which we do, we learn a lesson that yes, now I know, maybe this is the better way to do it, and I will success. And then when you second, third, fourth attempt, when you succeed in any small act of spirituality, then you will find you get confidence. But that will happen provided you are dynamically leading a spiritual life. Not somehow, anyhow. Not because Guru has told me so morning 108 and evening 108. No. That was minimum. But as much as you can do, we are supposed to. So, these are practical side. That full zeal in life. You look at the Sattvika person's lakshana, qualities of a Sattvika person. Sri Krishna said, Dhriti Utsaha Samanvita, with a tenacity and Utsaha, so much zeal is there in the person who is a Sattvika person. So we must have this Sattvika. Think of Sri Ramakrishna. He says, I am not able to do anything because my body is weak. Chaitanya went house to house to spread the name of God. Look at me, I cannot walk. I have to take a horse carriage and go anywhere if I want to go. Sri Chaitanya was very physically strong. He went by walk everywhere. Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot do that. So whichever way you are, but the constant effort. Look at Swamiji. Many people say, these are emotional statements. In Belur that Swamiji told us, Bhajananji told us, if you do not say Jai Sri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai, I will not say anything. If you don't say Jai Sri Mahamaya ki Jai, I will not say anything. But if you don't say the Jai of Swamiji Maharaj Ji ki Jai, I have a problem. You know that men work so hard. His sweat and blood he has put. Look at his America, 4 years of his work. It is impossible to travel as he traveled to give lectures. And every day, look at, I was studying his letters. In one day, he is writing 3 letters to Swami Brahmananji, telling about how to start the Sangha. So much concern is there. Look at his letters. That's why Swamiji wrote in one place, one who will read my letters, I will enter into their brain and inspire them. When we heard it, we are small people, we are not great people. When I first heard this, I said, my goodness, what I am doing? Swamiji says to Sister Nivedita, the world is burning in misery and you say you want to take rest. There is no rest. Same statement Hanuman gave before he went to Lanka. Rama kaji kiye bila mohi kaha vishram. Till I finish the Lord's work, I don't have a rest. Every spiritual person has ceaselessly worked hard. And the result is there, we in front of us. We need to work hard. Whatever we think we have resolved is good, we'll do for it. Difficult, Herculean task. Just now when I think Shilpi told that Maharaj is talking to someone. So the gentleman came, I was talking to him. Tomorrow we are going to see that property in Norris Road, which we constructed in 1930s and sold it away in 1980s. So that person who has purchased this has renovated it. And he's calling us to see whether we want to rent out or we want to buy. Then I was telling to him, how to buy? Impossible. You are putting 10 million, 12 million, forget about it. We cannot. But to go and see, you don't spend money. Let us go and see first. If there is something, Herculean task. But Belur has given permission. And we are going to celebrate our 100 years in 4 years' time. What 100 years of Singapore Ashram if Norris Road house is not with you? But that doesn't mean that I should be mad after it. No. Keeping the head cool, keeping the feet grounded on the ground, And let us be practical and do something. But there won't be absence of my zeal. There won't be absence of my enthusiasm. I was telling to someone, Maharaj, you are so affirmative and very hopeful about everything. I said, no, till I fail, I am hopeful. If I fail, I will be hopeful again for the next attempt. So we do our work. It's not a question of this or that. But it starts with your personal spiritual life. These are the works outside we do, definitely do for the Sangha. But personal spiritual life, we must be very dynamic in leading our personal spiritual life in form of japa, in form of reading, in form of doing the work for the ashram, doing the work for the society, doing the work for the movement. Eventually it's a movement. Singapore is one drop, Thailand is another drop. All the drops put together becomes a stream. So let us see, let us do our sincerity will not be compromised. All the restrictions and limitations are there. Let us see, let us work for it. So